All right, this is message number 3 and part number 3 of why study the Bible. And I'd like to start this particular message with a quote from an English statement by the name of Francis Bacon. He wrote what I'm about to quote to you around 1625. That's about 400 years ago. Holy smokes, quite a long time ago. And this is what he said: "Some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested." So, what does Mr. Francis Bacon mean by that? Some books are to be tasted. These are books that are enjoyable, they're sometimes insightful, but they're not meant for deep nourishment. They entertain or often offer glimpses into the human experience, but they really don't shape the soul. One example is our novels. For example, I've been reading this one book called Kingdom of the Blind. It's not going to affect me any. It's for entertainment purposes. Interesting story. It might offer some insights into how people communicate, but at the end of the day, it's not going to affect my life too much. That is a book that is to be tasted. All right. Then Mr. Bacon says some are to be swallowed. That means we take in that particular book, and it kind of informs us and shapes the way we look at life. These are reference books, dictionaries, biographies. For example, this is a book called the Letter to the Ephesians, and that's what we're studying. This is not the Bible, but it explains about the Bible, and this helps me to get a better idea of what the Bible is all about. Here's a book called Love and Respect. It's a book about how married couple are to get along with each other. This gives me rules for living, rules for relating to my wife, for example. These books are going to affect me and how I lead my life. Here's one called Shape Up. This is a book that, again, I read this when I was probably 13 years old, and it helped me figure out how to move into adulthood. So, a very good book. So, these are some of the books that are to be swallowed. Then, of course, we have something called the Holy Bible. And what are we to do with the Holy Bible? We are to change our thinking, to transform us. What we read in here is to be chewed and digested. Again, it's supposed to change my life. When you get to the Gospel of John, someday you will read that Jesus Christ says, "I am that bread of life." And what do you do with bread? You eat it, and it becomes a part of you, and it nourishes you. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of quick verses here to think about. This, again, uses the figurative language of eating words. Jeremiah 15:16, "Thy words were found, and I did eat them. And thy word was unto me the joy and rejoicing of mine heart, for I am called by thy name." Now, isn't that amazing? Thy word, this Bible, was the joy and rejoicing of Jeremiah's heart. It transformed him. And I will close with a quote, a verse from 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. "Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new." This book transforms. It is a book to be chewed and digested, and to get as much nourishment as you possibly can from it. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do any more on why we study the Bible. May or may not. Depends. I'll pray about it, think about it, and who knows what I will talk about the next time I do a video.